How do I look? How do I look?
Amazing. That's like, it is Jesus I'm talking to. It's a good look. Okay. Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Nicky from Surf Holidays. Now, Portugal has entered its third phase of its reopening plan. Shops, restaurants, bars, hotels, and of course, surf camps and surf schools are open. Some flights have started, but regular routes really won't start till about July 1st. And there's probably going to be some quarantine policies, but these can change very fast. So in the coming weeks, we'll know a lot more. The good news is the surf towns have not been as affected as large towns and cities. For example, the Algarve has recorded 16 fatalities so far. Joining me now is Toby Millage from the Surf Experience in Algarve in the Algarve. So thanks for joining us, Toby.
Boa tarde, Nicky. And everyone out there in the webverse, man.
Yeah, tudo bem?
Tudo bem. I love your accent.
Yeah.
You need to come down here more, Nicky, don't you? You need to come down, spend a bit more time with some pastel de nata and a nice bilao. Do you know what I mean? I bet you're missing it.
Yeah, well, listen, like you guys have been there for about 27 years now, so and I suppose
28 now.
28 years. Wow. Okay. Must be one of the first.
28. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think we're the first in Portugal, but arguably, and anyone out there who has any other information, possibly the first ones to put together a surf lifestyle holiday as a package. And it was only totally by mistake, or just for the love of surfing and spreading the vibe was how it started. So we had really no idea what we were doing. I do remember driving to the middle of Wales where an old guy was selling flights to surf destinations. I think his son worked for Hot Tuna or something. And it was in the back of Wavelength or Surf Mag. And I was like, hey, how about we come together and you sell the flights to me, a destination where I will take care of people. And from what I remember, I just don't think that existed. I think you had surf schools and you could fly somewhere and you had a hostel or a hotel and you would kind of put that all together yourself.
Yeah.
So possibly, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll go out there and I'll claim it, and then anyone else can jump in and declaim it if they want.
And what have the last 3 months been like? Like, have you ever had anything like this in those 28 years?
Man, no, never.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any business has had any challenge like this. I suppose the Icelandic situation was something that kind of stopped everyone. And I remember we were training the kids with Surf Solutions down here at the time when one of them happened. We had like 15 kids between the age of 10 and 14 with Joel and someone else. And suddenly the volcano happened and we couldn't get them on a flight for 3 weeks. So a couple of the dads rented 2 vans from England and drove down, picked them up and drove off again. Crazy days. Because I mean, we just didn't have the capacity to look after 10 to 14-year-olds for 3 weeks. It was crazy.
Yeah, and that was about a month, wasn't it? I could remember that being about April till May, and then it just it seemed to just pass on. And I think it was the same kind of thing that was happening there, like Ryanair arguing with government saying, it's only something small, we're going to open up anyway, let us fly. And I think they just tried first, and they kind of...
Just trying to think back, I just remember people getting thrown crazy amounts of money, whoever owned a minibus, to drive people back to England. So everyone went on panic mode, man.
Yeah.
I can't get a flight next week. Jesus, here's like $5,000. Drive me and my 9 golf buddies back to the UK. No! It was crazy. It was. I don't think it wasn't that long when everything was shut down. I think it's just the backlog of getting back or leaving, or all the businessmen that were stuck on, like, say, golf courses just absolutely lost their minds. They couldn't get back. Yeah, bless them.
And here, what's the buzz now like in Portugal? I mean, it's being considered like one of the better countries for the reopening and a pretty safe place to go to now. Like, what's the buzz like in the town and people?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually, to be honest, I mean, everyone shut down before they were meant to shut down. I mean, it was like I think there's probably a combination of being a little bit wary of the health system here. Obviously, Italy and Spain had just kicked off, so kind of everyone was like, and we're at the end of the world. So, I mean, the only place that people can come are from Spain, you know, and it was just going crazy over there, wasn't it? So all the borders got shut. I remember we had a really good group of people staying with us, and I think the COVID gang who stayed with us in March are combining to come back to redo the holiday, because we had people just turning up on the day, and then we're going,
I gotta go.
Yeah, and also the beaches shut down pretty swift. I mean, I was on the phone to the maritime police, and they allowed us an extra day.
Wow.
I remember, because we had a group, so they were like, and I was like, I think it was so we made a shut on a Saturday. He allowed us the Sunday just to get a day in.
Yeah, wow. Okay. And what were they doing? Were they like, I mean, if you stayed in the water the week after that, in the open beaches, were they coming down and they're grabbing you out, whistling and trying to take you out? And what were they doing?
So us as schools coaching had to stop on whatever day that was. I think it was the 14th or something, or the 15th. Soon after, the decision was made that sporting gatherings couldn't happen, and because beaches were closed, it made sense that the surfers were not allowed. And actually, so Frederico Moraes, he actually said, right, I'm going to do what everyone else does, because there was actually, if you're an elite sports person, you could surf through all these conditions. But he actually put his hand up and was like, nah, man, I'll stick with everyone, because all the associations asked all the surfers, let's do this together and not go surfing. I mean, it was a big call. People definitely went out there.
I remember hearing the case in Hawaii in Pipeline. You weren't allowed on the beach, but you could get into the water and surf. So everyone was surfing, but there was no one allowed on the beach, which just seemed a bit bizarre.
I mean, people went, obviously. I know for me, having worked with events and travel a bit, I'm used to maybe not surfing for a month. So it was kind of like, for me personally, this is what it's like to everyone. Enjoy it. Yeah. Of course, there were all the people are so used to it down here. I can't, just not living with it was just drove them crazy.
Yeah.
But I think they were fining up to €500 if you were caught surfing. Okay. They were blocking most of the roads of the West Coast beaches. Yeah. The beaches that people might not know about, the maritime police actually went down to a few of the surf breaks and caught some guys. Yeah. I guess it's only human nature that they would try and break that down.
Yeah.
But it was there's a revelation. Sorry, Karen.
So once they kind of opened in May, and then did everyone just go like, were the breaks crowded again, or is there still, because there's lack of tourists, does it mean that they're only 50%?
Not at all, actually. I thought it would go crazy. Yeah. Because I was a supporter of it, to be honest, because if you allowed us to go surfing and we're not doing anything, everyone's sitting on their asses, you're going to go surfing, aren't you? And each person turns up in a car. Before you know it, you've got 50 cars in a car park, 50 guys, whether it's even 4 meters apart. I mean, it's hard to do that anyway. So and you're going to get gatherings, and then you're going to get people kicking off. It's so many grey areas. So I think it was a good decision that we did it. And then when it came back again, 18th of May, I think a lot of people that were here on holidays or day trippers, even some of the caravans did leave. It wasn't that full. It was it gradually went back. I was thinking, man, it's going to be like a human waterfall of people just falling into the sea, but it wasn't at all. There's a few more people now. Because I think, could the Lisbonites come down? I think so. I think everyone could come and use whatever ocean they wanted, whatever breaks they wanted.
Come here, what's the town like then? Like the restaurants, bars, are they like, there's a curfew set, isn't there, for bars?
Well, so it is an interesting facet, actually. So it's something that is worth mentioning, because, of course, for us, the whole lifestyle thing includes that. At the moment, everything is open except for clubs and specific bars. So your closed door, double door bar, they look at that at the end, the 1st of July, I think, possibly. But restaurants, bars, cafes that have outdoor esplanades, I think a lot of that hasn't changed that much. Just imagine you've got everything open now, and there's just no tourism here yet.
Yeah.
So you've got old João sitting out of one, old freaking Pedro sitting out the other. So they opened with no one really around. It's quite weird. It is quite weird. Definitely the thing that the general population missed when I spoke to them is just sitting outdoors, having your little beaker, your little espresso, and watching the world go by. That's what everyone missed.
Yeah.
I mean, and that goes across everyone. The young uns, old folk, they just miss it. Social life, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it is. I mean, I went next door to our Blue Door, and I had a dish of the day, which was €7, which was a full dourada in the oven with potatoes and rice. So I walked out of there spending, €8.50.
Does that mean they're dropping the prices? That normally wouldn't be €7.
It's just a dish of the day. They always do dish of the day, and I guess maybe there's some douradas left over. Put them in the oven. Yeah. So,
what do you think the changes you guys are going to do for your own place? So things like especially social distancing, things like that. What have you got planned?
Well, so we go to 5-to-1 ratios on the beach.
Okay.
And we will maintain. I think we have to maintain. I think that's the number we can have in our transporters or in our cars. Of course, wearing a mask inside is what we have to do. Let's see how it goes. But mask. I guess we will have at some point people who join us by day with the guys who are staying for a week. So it's just about us doing the measures we think to protect ourselves, so that no one ever gets anything. That's what we have to do within the house.
You guys might have like stormtrooper masks or something like that, because you're big fans of that.
They're bloody expensive, mate. They're bloody expensive. Yeah, you can only come dressed as a stormtrooper.
Exactly. I just have the Imperial March as you come down out of the surf band down to the beach.
Yeah. Well, imagine, that's or you arrive and you have to wear this for a week.
Yeah, exactly. Pick your character.
Yeah. I suppose Boba Fett and sort of who else you got? Darth Vader, various other characters, isn't it? With the full. Yeah. We are Star Wars crazy. But in the house, I mean, we have to.
You're big into food and all that. Like, will you have the chef coming back in? Will you have the roof parties and that kind of thing?
And we, if we have the people, we'll do that for sure. And actually, due to the social scene, we're now going to build a bar on our rooftop, which we never had before. We've always supported all the locals and getting them out to bars and what have you. But we'll definitely do now. Coming back from the beach, sort of sundowners, every night on the roof. And I guess we'll utilize that more than we've ever done before. We know everyone's staying with us. We all know each other. And we'll probably keep it that way. For the food on the top, we'll continue doing that as long as we have the numbers. I don't know yet about restaurants. If I have over 10 people, can I get them into a restaurant? Sort of the Blue Door, they'd take them, because you have groups at the moment can sit at the table together as 10 people. Or any grouping can be 10 people. Things might change. I mean, we are expecting tourism to come. Things might change, but we've just got to.
It's a hard one, because I mean, like, what are your thoughts on the future? Because like some people are saying that the surf camp industry could potentially would grow quite well out of this, because people want to avoid cities and want to avoid big capitals, so they want to go to beach towns instead. So there is a potential that there is a positive growth potential there. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, people reacting at the moment. Everyone reacts as news comes out. I mean, we definitely had a spike when, as soon as we could go back into the sea, people start asking questions.
Yeah.
It's funny that how when it started, boom, inquiry's gone. Everyone has to concentrate on every other facet of their life except for luxury things like this. So what was the original question again? Will it grow? Will it grow the business? I mean, we live in a place that is pretty COVID free. We had maybe 4 cases in Lagos, or in the Concelho of Lagos, and those 4 guys have got better, and we're living on 0. With the Bispo and Algarve, they didn't get anything, and they will at some point for sure. And of course, the Algarve, like you said, there's only 16 died, which I should say fatality. Shouldn't I allowed to say the D word? and they're all up the other end of the Algarve. I don't know whether that's connections to Faro Airport back in the day, but I know it all started from a family that came from Italy at that time. She was a teacher and a daughter. Um,
Yeah, so
but
I suppose you're right, like it's week by week, really. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we are. I mean, as someone living in this era, or in this sort of a moment in time where everything was locked down, this is a really great place. I can't deny it was a great place to be locked down in. Most people are looking out for each other. We're living in a small area, or like a less dense populated area, and that is obviously where that is. I imagine in England there's probably less dense areas where almost negligible as well. It does make sense, doesn't it? And as the season comes, it's getting warmer. There is science that says that the virus can't exist in a certain temperature. That when we are on a beach, I mean, it's a pretty wild place for a virus to exist, whether it be in the sea, on the beach. But how we're going to do it, boards will be cleaned, suits are cleaned, and they always have been with us. Actually, they've all been disinfected since time began for us. So there's no change actually there. The cars will get sprayed down, so it's the dudes the instructors getting the car, and that'll be a quick wipe down, and then ready to get in with your mask. In the house, yeah, we're gonna let's say we only have one room that has 2 bunks. They'll become single beds now. Unless you are a group, a family, like everything else. The pensão that we have private rooms. I think we'll have a request to wear a mask to the room, and then off it comes. And then when you go out again, because we have someone there looking after that stuff. There might be a checkout one day, check-in the next, possibly. But we do have other options. We have Gazamai Hotel we work with. We have a new option that we've got amazing bed and breakfast, which I recognize people want to have their private space for sure, so they know that's controlled, and that's what we're going to try and do. We do have a really good client base, friend base, and everything. So I think we got a lot of people that already. No one took their deposits away for holidays booked. No one, and they all want to come back. So they will, I'm sure, at some point. And
Yeah,
they know how it is. Our surf house we have doesn't have vast numbers. It's not huge. So and none of the rooms, all the rooms are twins or doubles. So we'll have to ask questions. Do you mind sharing?
I was just going to say, so like, let's say I'm a beginner and I want to come down for a week. Like, what would an average week now be there? Like, what would I get out of the 7 days?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to devalue our service, but I mean, you are now getting 5 to 1. You're forced to. So, I mean, if I'm going to put a positive spin on anything, it's maybe you might get, more attention. But I mean, I'd like to say most people get all the attention they need anyway. But I'm looking at trying to spin a positive on that. More space in the van, going to the beach.
And then the difference between, say, beginners going to you and intermediates. What would be the difference there? Can intermediates still be taken to different spots?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the beach, I mean, we don't know yet how many people, because there's obviously other surf schools, etc. We don't know how many people will go to these places. I expect there'll be less people on holiday surfing than before, than we've ever known. So if you want to give it a go, this is probably a good time to come, I reckon.
Yeah.
Do we separate for intermediates? Yes. I think we're now at the end of our time where we normally do our surf safari weeks, which is your specific intermediate, get in the van, go surfing from HQ. So maybe I might move them actually within this week, put up some weeks for July and August. Because then actually when September, October, November come, we do those specific weeks. So on those weeks you arrive and you're just going to go surfing, and you'll get filmed about 2 or 3 times just to watch. And there's no extra cost to those weeks. The Alan Stokes training weeks, it was almost full when it locked down, but that's a different. So obviously that costs more. But there's some spaces, and you'll get full breakdown every day. So that's the full.
Okay, great. Well, listen, I mean, you guys are always one of the most popular places on our platform, so I can see it continuing. So I just want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to us.
Cheers, man.
My pleasure. And best of luck for the next few months, and we'll catch up again soon.
Cool. Well, yeah, sort of message to everyone out there. We are opening next Saturday, and our little phrase really is "We're ready when you're ready." I suppose that's all we can do. Everything's in place. We have our certificates of cleanliness, etc. What we have to do. Yeah, it's just hopefully everyone has the confidence to come and surf. I think it's probably one of the cleanest holidays you can take, or should I say the most earth protected, isn't it? Sun, all the elements are on our side. Yeah, we will still make sure we have as much fun as we can. And yeah, the food will still be good. The wine will still flow, and the waves still roll in, man. And hopefully you've got a bit more space. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, listen, thanks again, Toby. We'll chat to you again.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Nicky.